Hello, and welcome to Raider HQ After Dark. I am your host, Raider. And I'm kind of making a video today about a behind the scenes issue that not many content creators and not many veterans know about. And this has to do with the month that you file your claim in can actually have an impact on the outcome of that claim. And I'll explain a little bit more. So, what happens is it has to do with the quality and production standards for all of the staff members that work on your claims. So, the VSR who does the development for your claim, the rater who adjudicates your claim, and then the authorizer who I don't know what they do in a day besides upset me, but they actually deal with the money and the dates and times. I call them dates and times, it's a derogatory term, but all they do is make sure that you get paid the amount that you should get paid correctly. So the quality and production for each one of these individuals starts and ends in October. So that's the fiscal year for the VA. So why this matters in the grand scheme of things is that you have, because it's based on a quality and production standard, production is easy to get throughout the year and is cumulative. So if you do a certain number of claims a week, then it just continues to add up. And you're expected to meet a certain threshold of claims in order to meet your standards. And if you do really well, then you can exceed your standards. And that goes throughout the year. So you can have good months and a good year for production. And the remedy for if you're not doing enough claims or enough actions in claims in order to meet your numbers is you simply do more claims. So that's not hard to do. You can just knuckle down and do more of them. But quality is different because quality, you only get 3 pulls, 3 quality reviews on your claims that you work for the entire month. So 3 for a full month. Now, for VSRs, that is a very low statistic on the quality review. So like they can do 12 claims a day, so think about it. That's a very low amount. So why that matters, and let me pull up my my little handy dandy high tech little outline thing I did here, is because you get this quality burn situation where in the first part of the year, because quality is such a rare commodity, when October rolls around and all of the staff members' quality resets, they become hyper focused on quality for the first 3 months of the fiscal year because they want to pad their quality for the remainder of the year so that way they can coast on good quality. So they'll sacrifice production if they have to in the first 3 months and really hyper focus on and have a high attention to detail so that way they don't get any errors for that first 3 months. Then what you have happen is they kind of transition into a rut of I'm going to balance out my quality and production so that way I can speed up on production and then maybe lower my standards for how much I'm reviewing. I consider it taking some tactical risks because if you were to go with high quality, you would sacrifice your production. So you'd be in the red for production and maybe in the blue or green for quality. So you have to find a balancing act. Now, what happens in April is that you have what is known as a mid-year performance review. And during that mid-year performance review, it brings back into light the fact that your quality and production matter. And then you have to have a meeting with your coach about it. And so if you're a little deficient in your quality or your production, you're going to really pad your numbers that you're missing. So this just brings that attention to detail back into the forefront of all the employees' minds. So this is a good month to submit a claim too. Now, May and June you kind of get back into the rut situation where you're kind of just working through it. And then we get to what I consider the red months. Now these, we actually have what is known as a quality burn period where you've padded your quality. Like let's say you're at 98% quality. Well, you know for a fact that you could fail every single one of your quality reviews moving forward and still be in the blue. They're not going to take 4 reviews. They're only going to take 3 reviews. So mathematically, you can burn your quality. And that, by what I mean by that is, you can just sacrifice doing the right thing in order to click buttons to get production. So in a practical sense, what would this mean? Let's say I'm low on production. I'm in the red for production, which about 10%, 10 to 15% of the Veteran Service Center employees across the board are at all times. So during this period of time, during July and August, you can actually go in and you can focus more about taking actions that may get you an error. So it's like, hey, the veteran asked for these medical records to be received. Well, rather than do that and get 0.7 points, the VSR will go and they'll order an exam without getting those records, knowing full well that, they're going to get an error for it, but they don't care because it can't take them below blue, below fully successful. So they'll take the twice as many points to get the exams, then, say wait on those medical records. Or another example would be you submit private DBQs. Well, normally, I'm just going to use VSRs in this example throughout. If a VSR sends something ready for a decision to the rater, which they should do if the private DBQs are legitimate, they would get 0.43 points. So what happens is they'll go, okay, well, rather than do that, I'm going to say that these are, illegitimate for some reason, and then I'm going to actually order new exams to get my points. And if I get a negative quality review, I do not care because I have quality to burn. That's why they call it the quality burn period. So July and August are the months in which you start to see this transition from maybe like a balanced review of your claim to a complete lack of attention to detail. The VSR rater and authorizer can become, now this is not universally across the board, but we're talking about 10 to 15% of the entirety of the employee base does this in order to try to make up a deficit. But in July and August, I would not submit a claim for benefits at all because you're in the burn window, okay? And what that could mean is the VSR gets your claim. The VSR top sheets your claim to either give you exams or not give you exams, not based upon the evidence, but based upon the points they need. Well, then, like let's say you submitted it in July, August rolls around and it's now in the rater's hands. And let's say you get a rater that's doing a quality burn. They will do whatever action is the fastest for them, which I'm going to let you guess on this one. Denying is the fastest one. And then they just burn through their quality. And then the authorizer gets it, and they could look and maybe see, hey, look, I see some deficiencies here, or there's some evidence here that wasn't applied. Hey, look, well, they also could be, in need of production, so they look the other way and say, well, if I get an error, I get an error. I don't care. And they fail to see the human being on the other side of the claim. Now, the reason why September is different is because it is the pyramid, the top of the peak of quality burn, because no quality counts during that period of time. So you can do whatever you want because it's the end of the year and you can't pull quality reviews going into the next year. And that's what would happen. So September itself is a completely dead month. I wouldn't submit an application for a dog license during that period of time. September is the widowmaker. Never, ever, ever file a claim in September because you're just setting yourself up for mind-numbing amounts of disappointment. Okay? And July, it can happen in July where, your claim is finally adjudicated in September and nobody cares. Now, I should preface this and say individual employees like myself care. But what I'm talking about is the potential, a 10 to 15% chance of just zero attention to detail. And if that percentage isn't zero, then it's too high for me. So I'm putting this out there as kind of a, a public service announcement, that these, this is the period of time. Like in October is the best time to file a claim. November, December, great. January, February, March, they're okay. Like they're not bad. I wouldn't say that they're bad in any way, shape, or form. April's another good month. May and June. But you get into July, August, and September. If you're filing a claim during that period of time, uh, it is roulette at that point in time. So you don't know what you're going to get during this window. But anyway, that's about all I've got for you today. I'm going to try to do more behind the scenes, you know, rater reviews, the policy and procedures. I'm going to do a video about how your claim actually is adjudicated fully, from start to finish, what it looks like from the employee side, and not just, like step 1, step 5, which by the way, I don't even know what the hell those steps mean at all. So yeah, so if you want to see what it looks like from our perspective, I'm going to put out a video on that. It's going to have displays, shows you where it goes, how it goes. So give me some time for that. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you watched it, please, I'm going to shill here, like, subscribe, and do the notes. And if you have a video that you want me to talk about, or anything you want me to talk about from the rater perspective, leave a comment and I'll do a video. I mean, hand tailored to you. But anyway, thank you and have a wonderful day. Rater out.